If we were to actually divide this particular presentation into two segments, it would be divided into product side of things and the order flow education segment. So I'll be walking through the details of the Bookmap ICICI Direct connection, and Bruce will be covering the order flow education, right? Bruce, next slide, please. Okay, so now some of these traders, like some of you, actually know what NSE level 2 data means in the Indian context. But I'm assuming that, there is a large section of the audience who do not really know what NSE level 2 data means. So in today's presentation, we'll actually walk through, the basics and to, make you understand what this means. So what we've done is in this particular screenshot, you can see that we've logged on to icsdirect.com. We've gone to stocks, we've gone under place order, and you can see we've selected intraday margin. So now we've selected NSE, buy, and then we've selected the stock name, right? So another thing to keep in mind is that whenever you're searching, let's say, a symbol on the Bookmap app through the ICICI Direct connection, the way the nomenclature works is that, let's say ICICI Bank, right? So there are two words. So the system takes the first three elements from the first word and second, next three elements from the second word, and that's how the symbol name works. For Nifty, it is Nifty, and then like you need to go to futures, NFO. So I'll come to that a bit later, but let's have a look at stock now, right? So when you're about to place an order, it actually showcases that you have two options, either market order or else limit order. So now when we select the limit price, NSE is giving you a list of best quantity, best price, offer quantity, offer price. So that is, in the Indian markets context, that is actually known as level 2 data. So earlier we were providing level 1 data, which means that only best bid and ask. Now we have, upgraded ourselves to the level 2 data, right? So let's move on, Bruce. Okay, Bruce, can you open the new Bookmap India page? Okay. So this is the new Bookmap India page that we have created at our end, and this is in Hindi language, right? So a couple of you have actually messaged us like, how can we actually, view this in English language? So a simple way to do that is just to click on this page, right click, and then translate to English. And the page gets, translated to English. So now, Bruce, can you just hover to the part wherein, we have details about the ICICI Direct connection? Just scroll. No. Scroll down. Scroll down. Yes. Okay. I'll just scroll down a bit more, please. Yes, that's it. That's it. That's it. No.
Here.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so now what we've done is, in terms of users, we've classified the users as into two categories. First is the, on the right hand side, we can see existing Bookmap users. So anyone who has an active Digital Plus, Global and Global Plus subscription, we are classifying them as existing paying users of Bookmap. And whoever, let's say, has Bookmap True Data Pro or Basic, right? But the fact that, that is through a partnership and not on bookmap.com, so we are classifying them as new users. So majority of you would actually fall under the new users category, right, which is on the left hand side. So the I'll talk to you about the payments bit in a second, but let's have a look at all the features. Bruce, can you just click on view all features? Okay, so now over here, if you want to see like what exactly do you get with this particular integration, we've listed down everything in terms of advanced add-ons, asset classes that we're supporting, the core platform features and additional features as well. So feel free to have a look at it. And then let's have a look at the payment page, right? Because a lot of new traders had a lot of questions around it. So I thought that it would be interesting to address that in today's webinar. Yes, please click on that. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. There's nothing, which is difficult over here. You start with your first name, last name. In terms of email address, let's say that you have an address which is associated with Bookmap True Data. So the system will pop an error and say that, you need to create an account on Bookmap. But then, so what you need to do is you just need to, initiate that forgot password mechanism, and like go through that whole process. We've listed down the steps to be followed, and then you'll generate a new password for yourself. So that is what you need to do. In terms of just scroll down a bit, Bruce. Okay, so phone number and password, I think that's pretty much, it's straightforward. Now coming to the bit of a Bookmap license. So since, Bookmap is a foreign entity, so we'll be, collecting the funds in USD. So $17 is what we are charging on a monthly basis, and $175 on a yearly basis. The data will actually be streamed through the ICICI Direct's WebSockets based API. And in terms of the payment system, we've collaborated with Stripe and PayPal. So in terms of Stripe, what you need to do is have your credit cards or debit cards ready, but you need to enable the international e-commerce or online transactions so that your payments go through. So a couple of traders reached out to me yesterday stating that, their payments did not go through, but then once they enabled the international transactions on their net banking, it actually works. So please make sure to do that. And the alternative way is to have a PayPal account, and then it's pretty straightforward to just process the payment. So if you stay till the end, we'll give you a coupon code that you can probably use over here and get some sort of discount, right? So hang in there. Bruce, can you go back to the page, please? Yes, and just scroll down towards the very end. Okay, so what we've done is we've created a new section for all of you, because there were a couple of questions, and we understand that at times it can be a bit complex and overwhelming for you to understand new integration. So we have laid down a couple of questions that have been asked time and again as to how to get started. So if you click on that, we have a video for you. You can browse through the video. Then in terms of registering the app, we also have points listed down over there, like what you need to do. And we've made the whole process a bit simple for you to understand, so that even if you do not really know much about the API ecosystem, or you're very new to this whole world of trading, you can still understand it, right? So we're trying to make it as simple as possible for you and the trading community at large, right? Bruce, can we go back to the presentation, please? Okay, so now with this particular connection, which asset classes are we supporting? So we're supporting futures, stocks, options, and currency derivatives, right? So I mean, if you take the subscription, you have pretty much access to everything in terms of NSE level 2 data, right? Then how to get started? So we will be sending out welcome emails to all those paying users of this particular connection, and in the welcome email you'll have a particular user guide. So we would be attaching like two user guides, like one would be in the form of a video, another one is the form of a document, so that whoever does not really understand the video properly can refer to the document, and vice versa. So we have taken all the pain points of the customers and the traders and tried to incorporate the video in a way that it's very, very easy for you to access and get started with this whole integration. So we've already talked about the packages, and we've already covered the FAQ sections. So let's move on. All right, so now let's have a look at the features and components of Bookmap. So we're finally very happy to actually launch the much awaited heat map feature in the Indian market. So the screenshot that you see over here is of State Bank of India. So we have actually included the screenshot on our new Bookmap India page as well. So, you can check it out there as well. So there were a couple of questions that, do we get heat map on Nifty or not? So of course you get Nifty and Bank Nifty as well. So, we'll be covering that in a bit. Let's move on, Bruce. Okay, so in terms of advanced indicators, you get advanced like 10 advanced indicators with this particular integration. Footprint indicator has been requested time and again, so we thought of integrating this with this particular connection. Absorption and sweeps work very well with the Indian market, and it actually helps to identify the real time. Absorption and reversals, right? So that has been playing a very crucial element in terms of the trading decision making. VWAP, POC, CVD, volume profile will be covered by Bruce in the later segment of this webinar, so let's move on. Okay, in terms of volume delta, you obviously see the cumulative volume delta. You also see a couple of other elements around the delta element. So over here in this particular screenshot, you can see that this is Nifty. The contract expiry date is 27th of April, and this is futures, right? So once you have the integration, you can have access to Nifty as well, and so there has been a couple of questions that like how are you getting the data. So we're getting the data through ICICI Direct's WebSockets based API. So whatever data they're getting from NSE is directly streamed onto Bookmap, right, in real time. All right, let's move on. So I have covered the product side of things. Now Bruce will be covering the order flow education element. So he'll be going through the core features, how to set up advanced indicators, how to read order flow information on Bookmap, and how to find entry, exit, and risk management using Bookmap. So he'll be covering all of that. I will just cover one thing, and that is how to find symbols on Bookmap, right? So what happens is that you have three types of connections under ICICI Direct: cash, futures, and options, right? So under cash, you obviously have NSE, and under futures, you have NDX and NFO. So if you want to, let's say, start with Nifty, so you need to select the type as futures, select the exchange as NFO. NFO means that NSC futures and options. That's how they have the terminology. And in terms of NDX, it's basically the currency derivatives, right? So it is termed as NDX, NSCDX, right? So you can find symbols as USD INR, with an expiry date. And then if you want to find, let's say, options, so you need to select the exchange as NFO, which means NSC futures and options, right? And if you want to let's say find a symbol of let's say Nifty or Bank Nifty, so just type in under symbol, just type Nifty. Or else if you want to find, let's say, Bank Nifty, so for Bank Nifty the symbol would be CNX BAN. Yeah, so this has been updated in the FAQ sections also, so you don't need to memorize everything. It's all like laid down, as I said earlier, in the FAQ list. So feel free to have a look at it. And also the backfilling that we are doing, right? So we have a list of instruments that we are backfilling, so that has been updated in the FAQ section as well. It's under ICICI FAQ 5th point, so have a look at it, right? So that's it from my side as of now. Bruce, you can take over.
Okay, thank you, Urvashi. Yeah, Urvashi's going through all the details there. I just wanted to go through the basics here, looking at today's action. This is in replay mode, but it is today's price action from the market, and just give an introduction here of what Bookmap is. Those of you who are new to Bookmap, and we're really excited about this connection here, and then offering, as you can see here, the data on the heat map. This is a distinction here you guys have been asking for. Really happy to have this now, and we have it also on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. It's a little harder to read in here, but the information is in here once you start to zoom in, and you can start to see some of the heat map elements in the Bank Nifty and the Nifty as well. So anyway, let's just give an overview here. There's some interesting moves that we wanted to cover on the well, in the market in general, especially with like State Bank, ICI bank and also with the bank Nifty. As you can see, right around 1 o'clock, you can see the drop here, and we'll cover that in just a second. But basically, just an overview here of the elements on the Bookmap chart and what you're looking at. Basically, there's three elements here. It's very simple data. I know this can look complex. It is not. This is one of the values that most of the professional traders really appreciate about Bookmap is it's not trying to tell you anything more than what it's showing. It is pure data here. So what you're looking at in terms of these three elements, we'll take one off or put one on at a time here and go through it. So let's start with just best bid and offer. We can actually we'll actually start with candlesticks and take everything else off the chart here. Oops, there we go. I'm sorry, hold on here. There we go. Okay, so we'll close the indicator panel as well. Candlestick, basic candlestick chart, as you can see here, there's a real problem with bar data. It was never meant to give much insight. You're only getting open, high, low, and close of each bar period. This period may be a Renko, maybe a range bar, maybe time, it may be volume. It doesn't matter. You're only getting 4 data points. What happened in between these bars in here, you do not know. You cannot see the details in between here. So that's an issue. What Bookmap does right off the bat is we break that down by just showing best bid and offer. So now you can see the details in here. And hold on a minute here. With the candlestick chart, let's go to 5 minutes. So in between this 5-minute period, this is the price action. Okay, price dropped. It went sideways for a little bit. It kind of dropped pretty precipitously again, but a little bit of a couple hang-ups in here. These little areas matter. They're not in the candle. Why do they matter? Because look where price retested. Okay, right to this area here. There are market reasons why. There's volume that transacted here. It retested that area. It did not accept. It dropped. So now let's turn on the volume dots and we can look at that. And then here's why. Okay, here's that drop 1, drop 2, pull back, small pullback, drop 3, and the pullback is only to this drop 3 in here, as you can see. Okay, so that's the second element, and we can look at, do you see a lot of buyers in here? No, it's mostly selling, a little bit of buying in here, but once we see the sellers start to trade at the bottom edge again here, they take the market lower. All right, so these are the things to take a look at and understand. This context between volume and the price structure will give you an edge. So that's volume. Then let's go over heat map. The heat map is the final element here on the chart, and you can see this activity between the limit sell and buy orders. In this case, limit buy orders down on the bid, and the reaction or context between the aggressors, the market sell. Okay, big red dot is market sell order, big green dot or green dot is market buy. Size of the dots relate to how much transacted. Okay, the heat map, very simple as well, is showing liquidity. It's all based off of the limit order book. The more liquidity, the redder the color. Okay, the scale is up here in the top center, red, orange, very high liquidity, then yellow, white, blue, and then black. That's it. That's all it is. But this context now gives a lot of insight. Being able to understand that, yeah, they're supporting it underneath here. They start to not support it. Now we see the sellers take it down. All right. Yeah, just wanted to very briefly go over those three elements, but there's a lot more here now that you're going to get with your package, and that is some of these add-ons. So you can look at footprint. You can also look at sweeps and absorption indicators that we have on here that show when. In fact, here we go. Let's just bump this up a little bit, and maybe we'll put in 1,000 here. Okay. All right. So we can see that this works very much kind of like the heat map in essence, but it's showing where a lot is transacting, but it fails to go further upwards in this case, or further downwards in this case. That is absorption. This is a good example right in here. You can see the heat map. So you see all of this massive absorption in here. These are buyers, okay, and sellers are hitting into these buyers here. It's failing to take price lower. But look at the heat map. You can understand by just looking at the heat map in here. This gives confirmation to that. And then this is where these buyers here are feeling the pain on the way down. All right, and as sellers take it lower. Okay, so this would be a good area to look for as a retest, maybe tomorrow though. And start to understand these levels in here due to the activity and context between these elements. All right, so anyway, that's the sweeps and absorption. We can here though, and we'll probably do a special event just on the footprint alone. But anyway, you will get this as part of the package, along with a host of other add-ons that you're going to get. You're going to get your VWAP. You're going to get your point of control in here as well. And you have the sweeps and absorption. You have the heat map. You have the volume dots, which you can also show as volume delta dots, which they are right now, or total volume. It's up to you. You have all the different displays in here for the volume filtering. There was this interesting move that we saw earlier today that just wanted to cover this by looking at multiple symbols in here. All right, so we can look at the Bank Nifty, for example. Well, the Bank Nifty actually showed a little more strength than some of the individual stocks in here, which is rather interesting. So we had a drop earlier in the morning, and then you can see this beautiful retest back to where it dropped from. This is very, very typical. We were just talking about it in the Bank Nifty about all of those transactions and then the pull away from that area, or I'm sorry, the State Bank. And this failed here. Okay, so it pulled back to this previous value area and it failed. You can even look at a little pattern in here, like a bit of a head and shoulders in here. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Sellers take it down here. And then now this is where it can be really interesting to look at your correlations. Jump over to your State Bank around that same time. Here's your pullback here. And you can see the weakness in here. Right, it can't even pull back into this area where it dropped from previously. And then you can see that they're trying to support it here. They just can't. They pull their liquidity and the sellers take it down, and not on a lot of volume as well. We can look over also at ICI Bank. You see this one seems to correlate a little bit better. You see more strength in here in correlation with the Bank Nifty. Okay, so it did pull back pretty high. And it end of the day here is coming back up toward this area here as well. So anyway, just an overview of the I mean, there are many things to cover in here. This is just a brief overview. You have CVD, you have all of the columns data in here that can be split out. You can look at delta, you can look at a lot of different things in here. All of these features are all included in the package. So it's a very nice offering. Urvashi, is there anything else that you wanted me to go over?
I think we're good, Bruce.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we're right on time. 6:30 already. Yeah. All right, so for those of you who have stayed till the very end, so we have something for you. So we have this promo code that you can apply, and it's applicable to only the first 100 users. The only catch over here is that it's meant for the yearly a subscription, right? So you'll get 10% off. The promo code is BM India 10, and we have actually pasted and posted on both Discord and YouTube the important links. So you have the Bookmap India page, the Discord link for those of you who are watching us on YouTube. So you can join our Discord community. It's a very active community of the Indian traders. We share charts daily, analysis. If you have any questions around the product, you can directly reach out to me on Discord. So Discord is a good place to start. Apart from this, if you want to actually start your journey in terms of understanding what Bookmap is, we definitely have a lot of playlist on our YouTube channel. But knowledge base is also another good place to start. So you have details about all the platforms, features, components, advanced indicators. You have the downloadable links of all the jar files. So you can get information about access, information about anything and everything over there related to Bookmap. And also what we've done is we've collaborated with a lot of order flow experts in India. So and they have been creating a lot of interesting content around Bookmap and how they have been using order flow techniques in their day-to-day trading style. So feel free to go through the Bookmap India playlist as well. So we've pasted both of that, the link on YouTube as well as Discord, right? So that's it. And then let's move on to the last segment, and that's the Q&A, right? So if you have any questions for Bruce and me, feel free to ask. We'll be answering your questions.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think we have no questions.
All right. Okay. So I'm just gonna, deep dive into just one topic, right? So which I saw on Discord yesterday, and that was analysis paralysis, which means that they have like traders have options to select from a whole gamut of subscriptions that we actually offer on Bookmap. So I just want to make sure that you understand that it depends on your needs and requirements. Like for example, if you want to, let's say, opt for only the NSE level 2 integration because like you trade in the Indian market, so opt for the Bookmap ICIC direct connection. If you, let's say, trade in both India as well as overseas, opt for one of our paid packages like Digital Plus, Global Plus. Also another question was that what sort of indicators do you get with the global subscription, Global Plus subscription, and with the India connection that we have. So we actually offer different set of advanced indicators, and that depends on the market data and the integration compatibility. So if they are all compatible and works well, so we sort of then look at releasing them. So as of now, there are 10 indicators which actually work well in the Indian market with this particular new connection that we have. So that's the reason we have released it. And once we have the trading functionality, then we will be releasing a couple of other add-ons as well. But how that will take some time because we've just released this. So I think that's about it. If you don't really have any questions. Okay, so there's one question. So to get the data, you need to have trading account with ICICI Direct, right? So you just need to have an account which has direct access to the ICICI's Breeze API link, right? I'm not really sure like whether you need to have a trading account, demat account, or a neo plan or something. But as long as you can access it, the Breeze API link, and you're able to establish a connection over there or on Bookmap, I think it should be good. Okay, I see there's one question. Which is the best plan for futures trading, not Indian futures market? Um, So that kind of depends on your needs, Imtiaz. Like you need to go through and browse through the plans that we have because if you in the US market, I think data is not really included, right? So we sell the platform and the data separately. So a lot of times traders have limitations in terms of budget as well. So whichever fits your trading style and your budget, I think you should go ahead with that. But like if you have any difficulties in understanding or analyzing the plans chance, feel free to reach out to me on Discord. I'll be more than happy to answer your question. Okay, all right. So I think that's it then for today's session. Thank you so much for everyone who has joined us today. We hope to see your engagement on Discord. We're trying our level best to, boost the engagement there, get a more sense of, community over there. Because at the end of the day, it's best when we share the information that we have, we share the knowledge that we have, right? So we also have something known as Bookmap Blue Jacket competition going on. So you can create content, on our channel. On our Bookmap India Discord channel, and if you share great insights, you can actually win a couple of interesting elements. So I can post the link on Discord once the call gets over. Feel free to go through that particular link, and we'll be more than happy to answer any question if you have with regards to that particular contest as well. So with that, I think that's it for today's webinar. We're more than happy to schedule some other webinars also with regards to scalping strategies, order flow education. Let me know on Discord what exactly do you want us to do, how can we engage better with you. So we have been we always make sure that we listen to you. So whatever is your requirement, do let us know, and we'll try our level best to cater to your needs. That's it. Thank you very much.